by Emily Maravi.
Thank you for the time today. My name is Rick Goodman. I'm a 30-year resident of Virginia, 25 of that here in Prince William County. In every county in this state, as well as every state across this nation, Michael Bloomberg's Every Town for Gun Safety organization has presented legislative packages for gun safety, along with millions of dollars in campaign contributions in Virginia alone. Every Town's gun safety is a euphemism for gun control. The legislative package supports firearms confiscations, red flag laws, universal background checks, and supports stiff penalties for adults who allow older minors to access firearms. SAS Law's SB 16 bill will render your constituents, us, as felons if it is allowed to pass into law. You can look at other states that have enacted similar draconian laws to see what your compliance rates will be. Red flag laws are a direct violation of our 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th Amendment rights. Red flag laws strip us of our rights to due process and will deny us the presumption of innocence. If red flag laws are truly about being a danger to yourself or others, why are the guns just taken? Why not use the existing emergency custody orders that are already in place? Red flag laws are gun control. Universal background checks, otherwise known as UBCs, are being proposed. The FBI, who runs the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, states that from 1998 to 2019, there have been over 330 million, I'll say that again, 330 million background checks performed. We currently have background checks. Concentrate your efforts on improving the current systems to include mental health reporting. With universal background checks, it would become illegal to merely hand a firearm to another person, as is common practice in every firearm safety training class. In Washington State, after universal background checks were enacted, firearm safety training came to a halt because there was no practical way for an instructor to legally hand a gun to a student and vice versa. Universal background checks are also a precursor to registration, and registration is a precursor to confiscation. Look at the recent history of nations that this has been done, and the result is always the same. Strong penalties for adults who allow their older teenage children to access firearms do not make sense. In many cases, these teenage children are accomplished and responsible marksmen in their own right. This is not common sense and does nothing for gun safety. In fact, it would endanger the 17-year-old girl who is home alone and hears someone breaking into her rural home. I urge you to reject these bills, as well as any other future bills that are unconstitutional in nature. No more gun control. Our rights are not up for sale to the highest donor. I wish you the best of luck, and I implore you to be mindful that your constituents will be watching you closely. Thank you.
Thank you.